Hello. This film is just to let you know about what we plan to do to produce the first draft of our current short film in development called Soundtrack. Soundtrack is a story about a teenager called Joe who is trying to get over the loss of his best friend Jamie. And this one day, a couple of months after the death, when he's still struggling a bit, he decides to spend the day listening to a playlist of music. At this point, when he decides, the film splits into two versions of himself. One listens to a happy playlist, and one listens to a sad playlist. And his day, he acts out his day accordingly to the mood of the music that he's listening to. So his happy day goes, he tries to go back to how he was before Jamie died, and the sad playlist sees him just get more and more sad about it, but then in the end the two versions of him come together and ultimately realize getting over his best friend's death is the best thing to do because it's what Jamie would have wanted. In terms of filming, we plan to film the home shots of Joe getting up in the morning and deciding to listen to music at my house at half term, and we plan to have a mother figure as well who supports the character of Joe during this difficult time, tries to persuade him to get over it, and in the end, this ultimately works after some time.
Oh hey, I didn't see you there. I'm Ben, and I'm from Team Moya, creating the film Soundtrack. I'm here to talk a little bit about the theory behind our film. Basically, semantically, the film is about young people. The main setting is in a school, and the cast is mainly teenagers. So usually this would be a teen movie, but actually it's designed for a purpose. It's to do with the idea of dealing with loss, and so in that sense, the genre theory is basically showing how the music of the film affects the general mood of the film itself. So the two contrasting types of music affecting the film in different ways, and showing how each scene is seen differently is portrayed very much within our film. The narrative theory, however, essentially is the conflict between two worlds, showing how the decisions the character makes affects everything that goes around him, and that first decision of choosing whether to try and be happy or to continue wallowing in his self-pity about the whole situation affects everything that happens within the film. The kernel of the story is basically the choice of music. However, the satellite is more of the friend Jamie, who is acts sort of as the dispatcher to this entire mission of happiness, if you will. And although he isn't necessary, as we could just choose any old reason for why he's choosing two different soundtracks, he is an important part to this because it adds to our moral of the story of how to get over loss. And our representation theory, unfortunately, because we're a male group, and, let's be honest, we don't really know many girls. It's such a shame. It's very difficult to go against the male gaze theory. So we're hoping to implement female characters in a non-sexualized way to get over this, which is why we decided to go for a motherly figure rather than something as women as a fetishistic object in the film.
What about Oedipus?
That's a good word.
Oedipus.
Okay, Moy, that's absolutely disgusting. That is not that.
That's a complex, man. You know, it's
Well, nobody here has the Oedipus complex unless it's maybe you, Moya. So if you could just let me do what I'm doing, thank you. Brilliant. In a sense, Gramsci's theory of hegemony can be applied to the film as well, because the music acts as sort of an influence upon the character's emotional state. And this ideological influence is sort of the way in which we're normalised to grieving in this depressed state, which is pointless, really, because we can move forward in a happier way as we remember them fondly and we don't let the pain of the fact that they're no longer there affect us in such a difficult way. I myself have seen it in varying stages of grief, and after several months, obviously, there is the stage in which you either choose to continue being upset or to move forward. And that's where the film takes place. So, yes, that is the theory of our film, and I will now pass over to our correspondent Moya for the news.
Hello. This is our creative process of a soundtrack. We took inspiration from the musical Our House and essentially transformed it into our short film. We copied the core ideas of the split world and incorporation of music, altering them to suit the format of a short film and combining this with the self-conflict of coping with loss. We managed to create an idea with a more serious tone than the original idea of Icarus. We decided this because of the seriousness of the topic. We shouldn't have hit the stereotypical twist that ends a short film, and instead allow the moral of the story to be what leaves impact. That life goes on, and you should continue moving forward, as that is what they would want.